There is a kind of power most people never understand. Because it doesn't shout, it doesn't explain, it doesn't try to win arguments. When someone hurts you, the instinct is always the same. You want to respond, you want to be heard, you want them to know what they did. But that instinct is exactly where your power is lost. Stoicism teaches something colder and far more dangerous. The moment you react emotionally, you hand control to the person who hurt you. They decide your mood, they shape your thoughts, they occupy your inner space. Real power begins the moment you stop feeding them access, when your silence is not weakness, but restraint, when your calm is not surrender, but dominance. This is not about revenge, it's about taking your power back, without saying a single word. The lie about revenge. Revenge is sold as strength, as justice, as closure. You're told that if someone hurts you, the powerful move is to respond, to confront, to expose, to strike back, to make sure they feel what you felt. But Stoicism reveals the lie beneath that story. Revenge does not return power, it confirms dependency. The moment you seek revenge, you admit this truth. Their actions still control you. Your emotions still orbit their behavior. That is not dominance. That is submission disguised as anger. Those who hurt you want a reaction. They want proof they mattered. They want access to your inner world. When you chase revenge, you give them exactly that. Stoic strength rejects this trap. It understands that true power is not expressed through retaliation, but through independence. You don't win by hurting them back. No, you win by no longer needing to respond at all. Rule 1. Withdrawal is not weakness. Most people believe walking away is a sign of defeat, that if you don't respond, you lose. If you disengage, you look weak. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Withdrawal is not escape, it is control. When someone hurts you, staying engaged keeps the wound open. Every message, every explanation, every attempt to be understood feeds the very dynamic that drains you. The Stoic does something colder. He withdraws without drama, without announcements, without justification, not because he's afraid, but because he understands leverage. Distance collapses manipulation. Silence starves conflict, and absence removes the stage they need to perform. You don't need the last word, you need the last position. Walking away calmly is not surrender. It is the moment you reclaim authority over your time, energy, and mind. Rule 2. Emotional control is the real dominance. Nothing gives another person power over you faster than uncontrolled emotion, anger, resentment, the urge to react. When someone hurts you, they don't just cross a boundary. They test whether they can still move you. Most people fail this test. They lash out, they explain, they lose composure, and with it, leverage. Stoicism draws a hard line here. The man who controls his emotions cannot be controlled by others. Emotional restraint is not suppression, it is mastery. When you remain calm, you deny them feedback. No satisfaction, no proof they reached you, no emotional reward. Your calm becomes a wall they cannot climb. Your stillness becomes pressure. In that moment, dominance shifts, not because you fought back, but because nothing they did was enough to disturb you. Rule 3. Silence forces. Projection. Silence does something words never can. It removes your side of the story. When you stop explaining, defending, or clarifying, the other person is left alone with their own thoughts, and that is uncomfortable. Most people cannot tolerate silence, so they fill it. They talk more. They justify themselves. They reveal motives they were trying to hide. This is projection at work. Your silence becomes a mirror, and whatever they see in it comes from them, not you. Stoicism understands this deeply. The more you speak, the more you give them material to twist. The less you speak, the more clearly their character emerges. You don't need to expose anyone. You don't need to confront or accuse. Say nothing. Step back. Observe. Silence does not hide the truth. It forces it to surface, without you lifting a finger. Rule 4. Becoming unreachable ends the game. Every harmful dynamic survives on one thing: access. Access to your time, your attention, your emotional availability. Stoicism makes a sharp distinction most people ignore. Forgiveness is internal. Access is external. You can release anger without reopening the door. When you become unreachable, not hostile, not dramatic, just unavailable, the game collapses. No messages to analyze. No reactions to provoke. No presence to disturb. You don't announce this shift. You don't explain it. You simply stop showing up where you are not respected. This is not punishment. It is alignment. People can only hurt you as long as they can reach you. Once access is removed, their influence fades. Not because they changed, but because you did. Unreachability is not cruelty. It is clarity. And clarity ends games without conflict. Rule 5. Build a life. They can no longer reach. The final mistake most people make is thinking power is proven. That healing must be visible. That success should be noticed. Stoicism rejects this completely. Real power is built where no one is watching. When you stop revolving around those who hurt you, your energy turns inward, into discipline, into skill, into structure. You don't upgrade your life to send a message. You do it to leave their orbit entirely. No updates, no signals, no quiet attempts to be seen. As your standards rise, the distance becomes permanent, not through conflict, but through elevation. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Marcus Aurelius. You don't rise to prove anything. You rise until their influence can no longer reach your mind, your time, or your future. That is not revenge. That is freedom. Final truth. Power is taken back. Quietly. Power is not reclaimed through confrontation. It is reclaimed through restraint. You don't take it back by winning arguments, exposing intentions, or making sure they understand what they did. Those are reactions, and reactions always serve the other side. Stoicism offers a colder truth. The moment you stop reacting, power begins to return. When you withdraw without resentment, when you remain calm without effort, when you remove access without explanation, when you build a life that no longer includes their influence. Nothing dramatic happens, no closure, no final conversation, and that is the point. You don't need to hurt anyone back. You don't need the last word. You don't need validation. You need clarity. You need control. You need alignment with yourself. Power is not taken in noise. No, it is taken back in silence and kept there quietly.